The day my mother slammed the front door behind me, I realized something that took years to fully understand. Sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you become the ones who hurt you the most. I stood on the porch with a single suitcase, tears blurring my vision, waiting for someone to stop me. I waited for my father to open the door. I waited for my younger brother to run outside and tell me Mom didn't mean it. I waited for anyone to say, "Come back." No one did. My name is Olivia Carter, and 9 years ago, my family decided I was no longer one of them. My crime? I married the man I loved. His name was Mason. He wasn't wealthy. He didn't own expensive cars. He didn't wear designer suits or come from an influential family. He was simply honest, hardworking, and kind. To me, he was everything. To my family, he wasn't enough. From the moment they met him, they judged him. My mother believed he would hold me back. My father said I'd spend my life struggling. My older sister laughed whenever I talked about our future. "You'll regret this," they kept saying. But I believed love was stronger than their opinions. I believed time would change their hearts. Instead, it hardened them. 3 weeks before our wedding, my parents gave me a choice. Leave Mason, or leave the family. I thought it was an empty threat. It wasn't. They didn't attend our wedding. They blocked my number. They ignored every birthday, every holiday, every message I sent. When our son was born, I mailed them a photograph. It came back unopened. That envelope sat in my drawer for years. A reminder that sometimes rejection comes from the people you love most. But what I didn't know back then was that life has a strange way of turning every story around. Because 9 years later, the same mother who erased me from her life would appear on my doorstep asking for something only I could give. The knock came just after sunset. When I opened the door, I barely recognized her. The confident woman who had once controlled every family decision looked exhausted. Her shoulders were heavy. Her eyes carried years of regret. For several seconds, we simply stared at one another. Finally, she whispered, "Olivia, may I come in?" I almost said no. 9 years of silence cannot be erased by one sentence. But curiosity won. She stepped inside and slowly looked around our home. Family photographs covered the walls. Pictures of Mason. Pictures of our son and daughter. Birthday parties. School graduations. Family vacations. Every milestone she had missed. She stopped in front of one picture. My daughter smiling while holding a painting she had made. "I've never met her," my mother whispered. "No," I answered quietly. "You chose not to." She closed her eyes. Then she began crying. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet tears. After several minutes, she finally explained why she had come. My younger brother had invested everything into a business that had failed. The family home was at risk. Bills had piled up. Creditors were calling every day. Someone had told them that Mason and I now owned a successful construction company. They believed we could save them. I listened without interrupting. When she finished, I asked one question. "If you didn't need help, would you still be here?" The silence answered before she did. Then she nodded. "No." The honesty surprised me. "I was ashamed," she admitted. "Every year it became harder to call you." She explained that my father had never stopped talking about me. He secretly kept every newspaper article about our growing business, every community award, every interview. But his pride kept him silent. Then 2 years earlier, he suffered a stroke. Before he passed away, he told her something she would never forget. "We lost our daughter because I couldn't admit I was wrong." Hearing those words broke something inside me. For years I believed they never cared. Now I realize they cared too late. That night I sat outside with Mason. We talked for hours. He never told me what to do. He simply reminded me of the woman I had become. The next morning I invited my mother back. She looked nervous. She probably expected anger. Instead, I handed her a folder. Inside were the names of financial advisors, attorneys, and business consultants we trusted. "I won't pay your debts," I said gently, "but I'll help you find a way forward." She looked confused. Then tears filled her eyes again. "I don't deserve this." "No," I replied honestly. "But helping doesn't mean forgetting." For the first time in years, We spoke openly. No pretending. No excuses. Just truth. She apologized to Mason. Not because she wanted something. Because she finally understood the pain she had caused. He smiled kindly and accepted her apology. That was who he had always been. The man they once called unworthy became the strongest person in the room. Over the next year, my family slowly rebuilt their lives. Not because I rescued them. Because they finally accepted responsibility for their own choices. Trust wasn't restored overnight. Some wounds heal slowly. Others leave scars forever. But every small conversation became another step toward peace. Looking back now, I realize the greatest revenge was never making them regret losing me. The greatest revenge was proving that their rejection could not stop my future. While they spent years waiting for my marriage to fail, Mason and I built a home filled with love. While they expected me to come back asking for forgiveness, I learned to stand on my own. And when my mother finally returned asking for a favor, she discovered that success isn't measured by money. It's measured by the people who stand beside you when everyone else walks away. My family turned their backs on me. Life eventually turned them back toward me. And by then, I no longer needed their approval. I had already found something far more valuable: my own peace.